Yeah.
Right. So, first question for the pre-tournament talk, which I've not done for a while actually, not since did it with Joe. Is how many points is the tournament, and is it a single army tournament or good and evil?
Well, it's 350 points mostly.
Yep.
We'll get to that when we talk about the scenarios, but it's a 350 point plus one model tournament.
Yep.
And it's single army.
Single army, good stuff.
Yep.
Where's the tournament being held, and how many days will the tournament last?
It's a one-dayer.
Yep.
It's being held at Titan Wargames Club in West Finchley. We've got a scout hall called Gordon Hall. That's right next to West Finchley Tube Station.
Yeah.
Chris, have you got the email address for our forum?
Email address or a web address?
There is a way. It's storm.com, isn't it?
No.
It's a different one.
www.thetitans.org.uk.
The www.thetitans.org.uk. I'll make a note of it so I can add it in the video. Titans.org.uk.
Yeah, that points directly to the forum. We don't have a website as such, but yeah.
Cool. And can you recommend anywhere to stay for the sort of like if those of us who may travel down on the Saturday or stay over the Sunday night? Is it on the Sunday?
It is a Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a hotel just down the road which people sometimes stay in there. It's called the Chumley Lodge.
Yeah.
We haven't had any complaints about it, so
that's good.
We haven't stayed in it ourselves.
No, I guess you don't need to, do you?
No.
It's being in London, the sort of the cost could be relatively speaking, it's probably a bit more expensive than say somewhere up north or outside of London.
Oh,
but you can definitely sort of share a room, and it might cost you sort of 30 quid each or something.
Yeah, it's worth it rather than doing the full day's worth of travelling. I forgot to ask, when is the event being held?
23rd of March.
23rd of March.
Yeah.
That's the Sunday, isn't it?
Sunday the 23rd of March.
Cool. Yeah, so the hotels are going to be booked up from all of us travelling.
Yeah. Well, we have tried to sort of organise a discount with the B&B before, but not getting enough interest from people who are travelling down to make it happen. But the tickets for the tournament are only £10, so
that's good. It's cheap.
Yeah, for a day out playing SPG, can't really go wrong.
Not at all. Are there any food venues around the centre, or should tournament goers bring their own food? It's the most important question.
There's food about 10 minutes walk away up on Finchley High Road.
Yep.
There's a couple of fairly well stocked corner shops next to the station. Last time we ran an X-Wing tournament, Chris and I bought a loaf of bread and some cheese and some salami and some butter. And we just made sandwiches for breakfast, which was, I made sandwiches and Chris set the tournament up. But so there's that option if you can make. There's enough stuff to make sandwiches.
Yeah, I think I've been down there before for last year's tournament.
Yeah. So, like I say, food. There's a KFC and there's a Subway about 10 minutes walk away.
Yeah.
And if you've got a car, then there's a McDonald's which is in driving distance, or it just makes KFC closer.
KFC closer, I think.
Yeah.
So into sort of the meat of this sort of pre-tournament talk is how many games will there be, and what scenario is going to be used?
Ooh, there's going to be 5 games.
Yep.
We're starting off with Chris. Have you got the tournament pack open?
Yeah, I've got the pack.
Lovely. Yeah. I'll let you go through the. I'll let you go through the running order, and I'll talk about the scenarios then.
Yep.
Okay. So doors open at 9 a.m. And there's an hour window for people to arrive. So between 9 and 10, people can arrive and sign in.
Yep.
Hand in their army lists and whatnot.
There are army listings, yep.
Yeah. Then the first game is 10 o'clock, and it's modified reconnoiter.
Okay, so what's different in modified reconnoiter?
It's the victory conditions that I posted up on One Ring.
Oh, yes, I think I remember reading about this a while ago. But for those who haven't read it, do you want to go through?
What happens, instead of normal reconnoiter where you get 1 victory point for each model you get off, which we think it takes away the it takes away the importance of breaking the enemy and killing the leader.
Yeah, because they're only worth 3, and that's essentially 3 models. And
Exactly. So what we've done is, if you get more models off the table than your opponent,
yep,
it's 1 victory point.
Okay.
If you get twice as many off, it's 3 victory points.
Okay.
And if you get 3 times as many off, it's 5 victory points.
Okay, so what if your opponent gets 0 off and you get 1 off?
Then they count as getting 1 off. So if you've got 1 off, it would be 1 more, and then if you've got 2 off, it's 3 points. And if you've got 3 off, it's 5 points.
I get you. Yeah. Cool.
So what we find with that is that it means that it's worth having a fight in the middle.
Exactly, yeah, because you try and whittle them down. And
yeah, because a horde army could only maximum get 5 points for running a bunch of models off the table, and there's still 6 points on offer for breaking the enemy and killing the leader.
Exactly, yeah. So it swings it back towards more the more small elite armies that don't just sort of avoid combat.
Well, it means that small elite armies have a chance.
Yeah, that's good.
That your horde is still better off.
Yeah,
but it's not an automatic win.
No.
Yeah, and if you've got, say your horde gets, I don't know, you've got a horde army of 40 models and you've got an elite army of 20 models, and your horde army gets 15 models off, and you have 5 models off, he's getting 5 victory points. But if you get that 1 more model off, suddenly it pulls it down to he's only getting 3 victory points. So there's a bigger victory point swing per model.
That's good. I prefer that actually to the other one. Oh, just out of interest, how are you? Is it going to be done by tournament points, and then is it victory point total for how the tournament's ranked?
We're using tournament points followed by victory points in game as a.
Oh, that's good. So
as a tiebreaker.
Actually, that's good for modified reconnoiter then, because you obviously don't have that sort of one player who walks off 70 models and then wins all the draws for victory points.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've been done over by that in the past.
Yeah, we heard horror stories about that, and we thought, well, it's a small change, and we think it makes the scenario play the way it should.
Yeah,
and then it's a really, really good scenario then,
rather than just the whitewash that it can be.
Yeah, you don't look at your opponent's army and just go, oh great,
I've lost this, or oh wait, it's a 5 model army, I've won this.
Yeah, there's something to play for the next hour.
Yeah. So game 2.
Game 2. So at 350 points, we're doing an hour and 20 minutes.
Hour and 20 minutes for game. Yeah, that's plenty of time for 350, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Game 2 is simply to the death.
Okay.
Standard rules.
Standard rules. Yeah.
Game 3 is another custom scenario. Well, I mean, modified reconnoiter is custom and it isn't.
Yeah.
But game 3 is a unique scenario which we've written up ourselves, and it's called Spawn of Ungoliant.
Oh yes, I've got the tournament pack open here in front of me. I'm just going to scroll down to it.
We've got a nice little bit of fluff to introduce you to the scenario.
Yeah.
We like to set the scene.
Yeah. Well, that's what I remember about your tournament from last time, was the sort of like the beautiful tables, and it really immerses you in Middle Earth.
That's exactly what we want to hear. That's fantastic. That's the sort of effect that we get. That's what we are aiming for.
Well, you definitely achieve it. Don't worry about that.
Awesome. Hopefully, it'll be more of the same this time.
Yeah.
Do you want to run through the scenario, Damien?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll run through it. So it's a sort of combination of
Hold ground.
The scenario names now.
Hold ground.
Yeah, it's hold ground with
a spider.
With a spider, yeah.
So instead of your central objective, the objective is a giant spider, a gigantic spider. So it's a monster. It's got brutal power attacks. It's controlled by the player with priority. Yep. We had a long think about, do we want it just to attack the nearest model? But we thought it'd be a more fun mechanic to have it controlled by the player with priority.
Yep.
But if they have priority, they're not allowed to attack the spider in any way. So they can't run it towards their own troops, heroic strike, and just kill it for the 3 victory points.
Exactly, yeah.
So you have a choice between, if you've got priority and you've got the spider, you can use it as a weapon to try and get the victory points for breaking the opponent or killing their leader, but at the risk that your opponent's going to wound it or kill it. And the same if you don't have priority. So whoever's got priority, there's an opportunity with the spider to either get victory points with it or get victory points from it.
Yeah.
You can't really interact with it with magic. It'll ignore banners. You can't do any friendly magic on it, so no enraged beast or anything.
Yeah, I was looking at its stat line. all the 7s and then 1 attack, 3 wounds. It'd be nice with an enraged beast.
Yeah, no, we're not having that.
Yeah.
You can't cast any friendly magic on it. We've given it resistant to magic, so the person who's actually controlling it, if they get a hostile spell like a transfix cast on it, then
they can at least try to.
They can at least try to roll, and so again that makes the person casting magic. They know it's going to have resistant to magic, so they've got to bet how many dice they're going to use.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, we did allow a player that doesn't have priority to take control of the spider with a heroic move.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, if they shout with me within 6 inches.
Exactly. So they have the option if they've got a couple of might points. Obviously, if they're calling with me, then they don't have priority.
Yeah.
So do they use the might points to call priority and use the spider?
Yep.
Or do they save the might points for a heroic strike?
Against it, yeah.
Against it. So we're trying to give people choices to make.
Okay. There's a rule here that I'm reading. The be very afraid one is that you automatically fail all courage tests if attempting to charge the spider. So does that mean if the spider charges my line of wood elves, say, it's stuck in that combat with that 1? Like I wouldn't be able to countercharge it.
Hang on a minute. What rule's that?
It's on page 5. It says, "Be afraid, be very afraid." The wording here is, you automatically fail all courage tests if attempting to charge the spider, and may not move the spider into combat with your own models during a turn which you control it.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
The idea there is that when you have control of the spider, you can't use it to attack it with your own models.
I get you.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah. So okay. you can't just charge it.
So it's as if it was a friendly model for the sake of moving, that you wouldn't be able to charge your own guys, so you wouldn't be able to charge your own spider.
Exactly.
Okay, that clears that up.
We don't want people having control of the spider and then just going, okay, I can set up a kill here and get the 3 victory points.
VP, so that makes sense.
Yeah, you've got to use it. You've got to use it to attack the enemy, or run it away from them if you really want. But you've basically got to use it to attack them.
It says, got a bit of a interference there. It says ranged attacks and offensive magic are permitted as normal, so you'd be allowed to Sorcerer's Blast it in your own movement, I assume.
Yeah. Yes, you can Sorcerer's Blast it as long as you're not controlling it.
Okay, so I get you. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So if the opponent won priority, got to move it, then you could blast it then.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it essentially becomes one of your models if you win priority.
Yes.
So that's how you should view it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. It's just you can't cast friendly magic on it.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Mm.
Okay, cool. And the next, actually, there's something in here. A wizard of many colours, which you probably should mention at the very beginning.
Yes.
Well, first off, I mean, the title of the event is Shadow and Sorcery, which is entirely what the theme of the event is based on. Yeah. So, a wizard of many colours is it's similar to some other we've used traits.
Yes, I remember them.
And they were sort of they sort of stemmed from was it the
Oaths?
Oaths, yeah, the old oaths from.
Yeah. It's just a different take on that. We're giving people access to one spell.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I would encourage your listeners to actually have a look at the event pack. And
I'll
read it. It's some good reading in there.
There is. I'll be sure to put the event pack in the description below so people can go straight to your Dropbox and take it from there.
Yeah, that'd be ideal.
The idea behind the Wizard of Many Colours thing, it came from the Desolation of Smaug film.
Yeah.
And you've got the bit where Gandalf is fighting against Sauron.
Yeah. Just
outside Dol Guldur. And he's fighting with Sauron's spirit form, and we just thought that was really cool, and we wanted to theme the event around that. Yeah. So it's got a wizardy theme. So each game, you'll get to use a spell, and the spells are going to be randomly selected from a deck of cards. Chris, are the cards printed in the event pack?
They are. There is a link to the printable cards in the event pack. If people don't want to or can't print them for one reason or another, you can just use the table in the event pack to
roll the dice.
To roll the dice and see which spell you get.
So the idea is you have a spell. One of your characters has found a magic ring.
Yeah.
It represents some magical influence going on throughout the battle and throughout the tournament, which culminates in the final game.
Yep, which will come to later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we've
some
got
nice,
a colour.
nice magic cards to print out.
Yeah. Well, it's good. There's some good spells in there, and I like to see that the curse fortify spirits there from the new rules.
We didn't want anything that was too overpowering. We didn't want to give people Sorcerer's Blast or anything like that.
Yeah, there's some nice mechanics, just amongst those 6 spells, where one spell could counter another and things like that. So,
that's good. So we've done. Was that Spawn of Ungoliant we were talking about then? Yep. So game 4.
I've lost. Okay, so game 4 is again standard domination.
Domination, and then the really interesting game, game 5.
Ah, yes.
Right, that is entitled Shadow and Sorcery.
The
title scenario.
Yeah.
Again, we've got some very nice fluff to set the scene on that one again.
Yeah. Inherently, it's excuse me.
It's alright.
Oh dear, I've got a bit of man flu at the moment, so I'm making all sorts of horrible noises. Yeah, basically it's Lords of Battle.
Yep.
But with a twist in that you get to bring a wizard. So we've got this is our slight escalation element to the tournament in that to carry on the magical theme, we thought it would be fun if people could bring a wizard along.
Yep.
And they select their wizard before the tournament, and they don't have to tell their opponent. They have to, mark it on their army list or tell the TOs or whatever. We're going to have a list of who's going to use which wizard.
Yep.
So they can't suddenly change it when they look at their opponent's army.
Yeah, so I really want Gandalf for this one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but there's a certain amount of... we're hoping that people will just sort of bluffing each other and giving each other a little bit of ribbing and a bit of different stuff. And, I'm taking this and predicting... Exactly. Predicting who their opponents are going to take and that kind of thing. But they're not going to find out until the final game.
Exactly.
So... Good can take from Gandalf or Radagast. No upgrades, no horses, no nothing like that. It's just as they are. On foot. We thought about horses, but then we thought, no, let's keep them on foot.
Yeah.
And then Evil can choose from Saruman or from the Witch King with maximum might, fate, and will.
Yeah.
Saruman... If you've got an Isengard army, Saruman can represent Saruman. If you've got a Mordor army, however, he can represent the Necromancer.
That's cool.
And if people want to do a really cool Necromancer conversion, like a nebulous Necromancer from Installation of Smaug, then that'd be ace. Get extra cool points for that, I think.
So, I hope someone does it.
We're actually doing a competition for best Necromancer conversion. So there will be a prize for that. Prize yet to be determined, but there is going to be a prize for best conversion of the Necromancer.
Yeah, you're not under any obligation to use him in your army, so you can have a good army and use Gandalf or Radagast, but you can still make a model Necromancer.
That's cool. Well, that's something to think about for me, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe.
Have a go.
If you intend to use the conversion in the game, he needs to be on a 25mm base.
Yep.
Otherwise, you can base it how you like if you're not going to be using it.
Just for the competition,
yeah.
Cool.
So we think those 4 wizards are quite well balanced. I mean, the Witch King's the obvious hero killer.
Yes, yeah.
And he has Your Staff is Broken, but he himself can be drained of magic just by throwing a grunt into him.
Exactly.
So that swings and roundabouts with that one. Radagast has no offensive output, although he's got
his Elven Cloak as well.
But that's the thing, he's got the Elven Cloak, and if he's on foot, so he's got all those wonderful spells that buff,
buff your own guys, buff your own heroes, really, aren't they?
Buff your own heroes. He can throw up
Terrifying Aura,
that sort of thing. So, whereas Aura of Dismay. That's the area.
That's the one. Yeah.
That's the area effect one. Gandalf's got a bit of defense, a bit of offense.
Yeah, he's sort of like the midway between Radagast the Brown and Saruman the White for good.
Exactly, and then you've got Saruman who's basically all out offense.
Yeah.
So they're all different. They all do different things, and within the context of different armies, they're going to be different, but they're all comparable.
Yeah.
So I think that one's going to be quite fun.
I'm looking forward to that one. I think it'd be really interesting to see what some players bring.
Well, the thing of this scenario is, one of the ways I've always sold this game to my friends and other people is, well, look, you can get some models, you can get, say, some warriors of Minas Tirith, and if you want to change your army up, you can just whack a big hero in, just stick Gandalf in or stick Boromir in. It's so easy to do, and you can play a game with all your favourite heroes from the stories.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily see that.
Not so much, no. Not
so much, you know.
Not so much at tournaments recently, anyway.
Exactly. You don't tend to see that. People tend to play safe and careful, but if everyone's in the same boat,
that makes no difference, really.
It makes no difference. Everyone's basically in the same boat. So for the advanced players that are looking to win and do really well, I think it's a unique tactical challenge.
Yeah.
But for the more casual player,
it's a chance to use your favourite heroes. Or
bingo, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, we also felt at 350 points, that's probably as high as you want to go with this type of escalation, where you bring a wizard of some description in addition to your army for one of the rounds. If you went any higher, you might already have one of those.
Yeah, you might have a underpowered Witch King.
Yeah.
Say, leading your troops.
And if you had a Witch King and Saruman in the same force, you might suddenly be a little bit, strong. But
well, then that's your own fault for not reading the rules pack.
There is that. Yeah.
Cool. So.
I think that'd be quite fun. I'm looking forward to the last round when everyone reveals their wizards. I want to hear a room full of gasps and groans. Yes. That's exactly what I want to hear.
So, next question I've got on my list is: are there any banned models for this tournament?
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
Nope.
I know. I do want to raise one point here. There's a lot of talk about 0 Point Gollum.
Yeah.
My opinion of 0 Point Gollum is he's effectively been replaced.
He's gone. Yeah, that's what
he's gone
come to accept.
He has exactly the same name, Gollum in brackets Hobbit.
Yeah.
In the current Heroes and Villains and Middle-earth PDF that's online, and the Unexpected Journey rulebook.
Yeah, so he's sort of superseded the old 0 Point Gollum.
Superseded, yeah. So it's a moot point because that Gollum is not really profile anymore. But other than that, no, we don't ban models. So no banned Alfreds, no banned Bombadils.
Yeah, good.
It's all open. And we think the scenario balance is going to mean that even if you did bring a model like Bombadil or Alfred, it might be great in one scenario, but then in the others, not so much.
It's a good scenario selection, I must say.
We've tried to balance it such that if you've got an elite army, you've got a little bit of something there. If you've got a horde army, you've got something. Or if you've taken a generalist army like Gondor or I don't know Isengard or something in the middle, then you're pretty much covered for all the scenarios. Yeah. But a little bit of something for everyone.
Yep.
On a similar subject, we also quite happy for people to use proxies and of course conversions.
It's cool.
But in the case of proxies, it needs to be reasonable, and people should get in touch with us before the event to sort of double check that a certain
it's got to be, if it's a proxy, it's got to be either WYSIWYG or an absolutely awesome conversion.
Yeah, this is what James and I were thinking of earlier. Like, it's come up in our events thing today about the using Grip and Beast miniatures. I think it was as done lendings. And what we decided. And it's very similar to you, is that if you are going to proxy, well, it sort of needs to fit the theme of Middle Earth, really.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at a Viking model and go, fair enough, that looks like a done lending. As long as it's WYSIWYG, you can't really go wrong. If someone turned up with some Romans and expected to use them as done lendings, you'd think, well,
you're a bit off there. Maybe it's Gondor, mate, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, what I'd say to people is, if in doubt, take some pictures and contact the TOs.
Yeah, that's always the best thing to do.
But I've often thought it would be... I mean, Chris, I don't know, I'm not going to tell everyone what Chris's awesome idea for one of the tournaments we went to last year was, because he never got it finished. And he might still do it, but it was going to be wicked. But one of the ideas I've often thought would be good at a larger points tournament would be to have an enormous spider on a large oval base, use the dragon rules, and call it Ungoliant.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know, it's a complete proxy. You're using a huge spider for a dragon, but it's so thematic.
Yeah, the rules fit that sort of thing. There's the cowardice there.
Exactly, exactly. And you don't have it with wings, obviously, but you have it with worm tongue and tough hide, and there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we know that proxies and stuff like that could be a contentious and hot topic, but we think as long as they're reasonable,
yeah,
and they're thematic and they fit, then we're okay with it.
Well, I think my Wood Elf Stormcaller is a prime example.
Yeah, that's a beautiful model and fits the theme wonderfully.
Yeah, an elf is an elf is an elf.
Yeah. For those who don't know what that model is, it's the elf made from the Mordheim range. So it's a Games Workshop model still, but when you paint it up, in the same colour scheme as the rest of the Wood Elves, he fits perfectly.
He does.
Well, there's plenty of other companies that make eagles and tree men or ents out there as well.
Exactly.
So. Absolutely.
Shadow and Flame, our sponsors do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Shameless plug.
Well, yeah, they're very nice as well. So,
Yeah, well, what we're thinking is, I think it was you, Damien, who raised the point to me that if someone turned up with one of our sponsors' models, we wouldn't stop them from using it. So it's not fair that we do it to other companies.
Exactly. You've got to balance people using models that they like with their opponents understanding what they've put on the table.
Yeah.
And as long as you strike that balance, then you're going to be okay.
Yeah. It's only a very, very small percentage of players who actually don't go out and buy the Lord of the Rings models or Hobbit models anyway.
We have had one proxy inquiry already. Actually, it was for I believe it's a Reaper miniature.
Oh yeah.
That was going to be used as a Reaver captain, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Damian?
It was going to be used as a what?
A Reaver captain.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a wicked model. But the thing is with that one, it's obviously a pirate.
Yeah.
So what else could it be?
Yeah, it actually looked like.
There's nothing else in Middle Earth that looks like a pirate other than Corsairs.
Yeah, it looks like Pluto from the comics.
It's absolutely fantastic. I've seen Reaper miniature sort of ghost models as used as wraiths.
Yeah.
And it looks fine. It's a ghost and it's painted black. It's pretty obvious it's a ring wraith.
Yeah. So, sixth question. Well, I think it's the sixth question. What sort of attendance figures are you expecting for the tournament, and what's your sort of maximum capacity, so we know to go rush and buy our tickets?
Well, we've got 21 confirmed already. Most of those paid as well.
That's good.
We've got several maybes as well. I guess people just trying to figure out what logistics or whether they can get time off work or whatnot.
Yep.
And I know of a few other people who are definitely coming, just they haven't confirmed one way or the other. So I would say we're easily going to get into the 30s.
That's good.
Yeah, so I mean, our sort of maximum attendance is about 36. So
we could probably push 40, but
we
might be scraping it a little bit. But we wouldn't turn them away. We just have to knock up some more terrain real quick. But but yeah, if we get into the 30s, I'll be happy. If we get 40, I will be ecstatic.
I think it's amazing the way the sort of community's pulled together in this second year already. How many sort of tournaments or best event ever sold out? Yours, you're hitting nearly 30s. Wait, so you're in your 30s?
No, we're in the 20s.
In 20s, but you're nearly at the 30s. Ours has hit 30s, and it's just great seeing that sort of the independent scene's actually growing this year.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
You consider last year that quite a lot of the tournaments, you got 12 people, and that was considered a decent turnout.
Yeah.
Now, with these first few tournaments, a 12 tournament would actually be a bit of a letdown, I think.
Well, we managed 2 tournaments throughout the year that were both 20 plus. One, Longbottom in the summer.
The Longbottom Carnival was brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, 28 players was incredible. We can't ask for better than that, really.
Yeah, that was really good. A lot of fun.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that.
Fun to run, that one was.
Yeah. That repeat event this year, of course, Longbottom Carnival in August.
Yeah, good stuff.
It'll be the 3rd year running.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What date in August?
It's the August bank holiday weekend.
Oh, good. It's not my birthday.
Yeah. Hence the carnival bit's on the same weekend as the Notting Hill Carnival.
Ah.
And it's the 24th and 25th of August.
Cool. 24th, 25th. I'll make sure I get that booked off work.
Make sure you do.
Awesome.
So, next question: what prizes will be available, and what for as well?
Damian? Damian?
Hello.
I thought I'd let you talk about this. You ordered them.
Yeah, yeah, we have already in hand. I've shared a photo on One Ring and on the Facebook group. We have the as first prize. As you know from the Longbottom Carnival last year, we awarded the Key to Erebor as the first prize.
Yep.
For this event, we have the Key to Mirkwood Gulls.
Ah, good, nice theme.
Yeah. So yeah, keeping with the theme of Desolation of Smaug and whatnot. And
Just a thing to lock dwarves away with.
yeah, exactly. So and then for second, third place, as well as best army and most honourable, we have a replica dwarf coin.
Oh yes, I've seen them on the Weta Workshop. Is that the Smaug's Treasure?
Smaug's Treasure, yeah. And these things, when you see them on the website, on the Weta website, they look just like small gold coins that you might just keep as a stick somewhere on the shelf somewhere. But actually, when you get them in your hand, they weigh. You wouldn't believe how much they weigh. And
really?
They're actually quite large. I don't know if you've ever seen the large £5 coins.
Oh yes, yeah, I remember them.
They're about that size, and they probably weigh about the same as well. So they're really
that's cool.
Decent prizes. And we'll probably, if we hit 30, we're going to be adding more prizes.
Yeah.
At the moment, that's where we're at. But yeah, and obviously wooden spoon for last place.
Wooden spoon, good old wooden spoon.
Gotta have a wooden spoon.
Exactly. So my sort of my final question before we wrap it all up is if you can choose to answer this or not, but what armies are you taking?
I'm taking Moria for the simple reason that I'm going to have to spend most of March painting spiders for the third scenario, so I'm not enough time to paint anything else. So yes. Moria it is for me.
Yeah, spiders will be provided.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I should have mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, we're going to be sorting that out. But I'm going to be painting those and tarting up some of our scenery, so that's my painting time used up. So Moria, because that's already painted.
And I will be using an army that I've never used and haven't painted yet, but I want to do something in
filthy.
Theme. No, not at all. No, something in theme with the events, with Shadow and Sorcery theme. So,
but filthy.
Probably. No, it's not filthy.
Is it staying a secret?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's probably going to be an Angmar list, so that when I get the Witch King in the final round, my army's nice and themed. Yeah. So by the way, I'm taking the Witch King in the final round.
I'm taking the Witch King in the final round as well. But I'm not playing to win my own tournament, so yeah. that would be uncalled for. So.
That would be something that Charles Sims would do at his event. Charles.
Oh, poor Charles.
I don't know.
I can see the likes of. Some Mordor armies with spiders, coming along, and for the people that do play themed armies as opposed to very competitive armies. I'd imagine.
One question that is not on my list, but I wanted to ask you: for those of you who've not been to your tournaments, do you want to describe some of the boards? And if you have any pictures, I'll link them in the description below. If they're on any sort of...
Absolutely, I was actually going to post a little album of some photos of our boards in the Facebook group, so once I do that you can use that.
I'll link that in below, but do you want to do a quick little rundown of what boards you've got available for people to play on?
Yeah, go on, Chris.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got quite a few. When we ran our first event a couple of years ago, we went out and bought a whole load of Amira plastic moulding stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because we had to get the boards together quick. We didn't have a great deal of terrain suitable for Lord of the Rings, so
we skipped.
And Damien did an amazing job of painting that all up, single-handedly.
Well done.
And that kind of kick-started our Lord of the Rings terrain.
You have no idea how grateful I was. So it's my girlfriend's remarkably tolerant of our flat being full of terrain for like 2 weeks. I don't know how I got away with it.
No.
So and then for the next event we decided we wanted to have you know, so for that event with the Emira terrain, all of the boards were almost identical. So you had 2 walls, 2 ruins, 2 forests, 2 hills. You know, and we felt that was probably a good thing for a tournament. You know, you wanted all the boards to have an equal sort of
equal game and balance between players. Yeah.
It didn't feel right.
It didn't feel right, no. So for our next event, we decided to put a bit more effort in.
Start theming boards.
And we basically had each board with a completely unique theme.
Yeah.
And for example, I managed to download some cardstock terrain from a I think it's RPG Now. Probably quite a few people will be familiar with that.
Yes, I remember that board.
Yeah, they have something suitable for an Erebor board. So it's like a sort of dwarf mine with stone pillars.
Yeah, the Dwarven Hall. I remember playing.
Yeah.
Oh, I played Mix. That's the first time I met Mixed Marauders on that board.
Oh.
Yeah, bad memories.
And that was actually that was table 1. Given that the prize was a key to Erebor, so we had the Erebor board.
Yep.
We had Damian put a very nice board together. It was a sort of Moria cave with a chasm running through the middle, and lots of things fell down and died.
Yeah, I remember watching a game. I think it was James Braun. I can't remember the other player, but it was like a dwarven company. I think it was the company actually, Thorin's company. As many as you could fit into 350 versus I think it was 3 fell beasts, and I challenged James to only kill the dwarves by throwing them into the chasm, or hurling them, and he did it. Fair play to him.
We're actually going to be changing that board. I'm going to be modifying it so the chasm's now going to be deep water.
Okay.
So you're going to, if you get thrown into it, you're going to have to take swim tests. There's still going to be a chance of drowning, but it also means that people can swim across rather than using the bridges.
Yeah.
So it should open the game up a little bit more.
That's good. Yeah.
What else did we have? We had a beautiful Shire board, which was all green and hills and trees, and a very nice hobbit hole that one of our members made.
Yep, I remember seeing that one. I was good. I didn't get to play on it.
Yeah, young Adam did a beautiful job of building that hobbit hole. So yeah.
Yeah, it was a really pretty looking board.
Yeah.
And of course we had Weathertop, which was another Emira piece that Damian bought.
£10.
Wow.
It's huge. It's basically Weathertop for a tenner.
This is crazy.
It's enormous as well.
It is pretty big.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
One of our members, Tom, brought down some stuff he got off some ruins that he got. I think they were made from Herstart's blocks.
Oh yeah, no.
And he had a load of those. So we're going to have those again this year. That's going to make a sort of Dol Guldur themed board with them.
Nice.
Lots of ruined citadels, and a snowy field was another one that we had. So they'll all be there again.
Yeah, I think with the snowy field, we need to let people know that path down the middle is not a path; it's a stream.
Yeah, it's a frozen river. I think it would be counted as difficult terrain rather
than swim tests.
Exactly,
makes sense.
But we've got plans for. Well, I've got plans. Damien was going to be doing a new board, but he's not going to have time with all the spiders. But I will be putting together It's either going to be Bree or Lake Town. I haven't decided yet, one way or the other.
Lake Town.
Yeah, Lake Town.
The thing with Lake Town is you've got to be careful to have it Lake Towny enough that you've got areas of water, but not so Lake Town that it's difficult to play on.
Exactly.
Yeah, everything just drowns on it or something.
Yeah, which is why I haven't actually decided one way or the other yet.
Yeah, I think if Games Workshop do release a sort of Lake Town scenery set, then I think it will work well for Bree, and that way it doesn't sort of break the game up that you've got all these sort of little boats to jump on and things, and turn it into a more of a scenario board than.
If I do go down the route of Lake Town, I'll probably be putting together one of my lovely terrain mats for that purpose. You know, so sort of.
Is that a shameless plug, Chris?
No, not at all. A watery sort of terrain. You know, so that you can place the buildings on top, and then you've got buildings and water, but.
Yeah.
Not an entire board of water, but there would be plenty of water, obviously, for a Lake Town board.
I imagine it having, being like a normal board with a lot of sort of square or rectangular ponds on it.
Yeah.
That's good.
So that's the way I'd imagine it, or something like a river, but with right angles in.
Yeah, probably maybe a couple of very large lakes. 2 large lakes.
Yeah.
Might be right. And then you can have some of it frozen. You can have the entire board as a
Yeah,
frozen
you could have a frozen lake and then some bits that are open where you can actually fall in, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of stuff you can do with that.
There's ways to get around.
Yeah.
A waterboard, yeah. That's cool. So, anything else you guys want to add in? Anything you might have missed? We've done price, we've done points, games, scenarios.
Well, the location, just to touch on that a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
We're in West Finchley, which is north-west London.
Yep.
It's technically North London, but it's sort of more to the northwest.
Northwest London.
We are only a few minutes drive from the M1.
Okay.
Which in turn is only not very far from the M25. So for people driving to the pub, we're actually very, very well located.
That's good.
Conveniently located. And again, we are literally only a few seconds walk from an underground station. So anyone travelling
West Finchley Station, I think.
From London,
yeah,
it's not an issue at all.
No, was that one, the one that was sort of under works last time?
No, it was open, I think.
No.
Okay.
We've been very fortunate to not have any works going on.
Yeah, it was the other side of the Northern Line was. Our side of it was okay.
There have been sections of the Northern Line that were under works, but yeah.
That's all right then. Whew. But hopefully I'll have Mr. Biotic fit to drive me down. So.
Well, he's not signed up yet, so what's going on there?
What? I'll get him to.
Sort that out, yes, please.
Yeah, I will.
Awesome. So you're going to be doing the as I gazumped your idea on the forums the other day about the filming the best army and stuff.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. No worries. It's to be fair. It's been something James and I have been meaning to do at all the tournaments we go to, but we always sort of get so caught up in the atmosphere of everything going on that we forget to record.
Well, I mean, we're quite happy to help out, and we're going to be TOing it, so you know, if you want to hand pointing cameras or things, it's just like a gentle reminder.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
I need it. James is pretty motivated, but I get into the game too much and forget I'm actually recording.
If we get an odd number, then Damien and I will probably
alternate.
Yeah.
Games,
so.
Freeze one person to go just round the hall with the camera, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll definitely take you up on that offer.
You will definitely need to bring the camera because we have something very special planned, as I've mentioned.
I forgot about this.
We are not going to say any more about it.
Any hints?
Absolutely not.
None whatsoever.
Intrigued. I'm very intrigued.
It will be a special treat for everybody that is both there and not there for afterwards. So.
We're gonna need a little bit of your help with this, Jamie, but we're gonna tell you nearer the time.
Okay.
You will be in the loop on this sooner than most people, but
you are on a need to know basis at the moment.
Okay.
you will need to know before everyone else does.
Yeah. Okay. But for all of the people attending, they will be included, but it won't be anything awkward or anything like that. So it'll just be a bit of fun, and everyone will love it.
Good stuff. That sounds great. Slightly nerve-wracking, but great.
No, not at all.
No, we just need your directorial skills. That's all.
Oh God.
or maybe James's.
Maybe James's. Yeah. I'm the lazy one. I always forget my intros and outros.
Yeah. So again, for anybody that's interested in coming to the tournament, the best way to sort of sign up, if you're on Facebook and on the GBHL group, then obviously just check the events page there. Yep. If not, then I assume most people are on One Ring.
Yeah.
Damien, are we on Last Alliance as well?
Yeah, we're on TLA.
We're on Last Alliance as well, okay.
The One Ring really has sort of overtaken as the main site.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree. So we have there's an event thread on both of those forums, plus Facebook, plus our own forum for anybody that wants to just go that directly.
I'll be putting links to all this in the description and taking out all the other links and making sure that your event is the main focus of this sort of description video and video in general.
Right.
Wicked.
Cool.
And we are extremely excited to be able to run these events. We're not doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for all of you, and we want to make it as fun as possible for everybody.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to attending this one.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Like I say, I'm really chuffed. You're going to be bringing the camera and filming the armies and the boards and that sort of thing. Because getting that, getting the hobby side out as well as the wargaming and the
exactly. It's something that our sort of channel doesn't showcase enough of, in my opinion, because we're not good enough hobbyists, to be fair.
Well, doing it this way means you just utilise the skills of the other people
of the community, exactly.
The community, yeah, exactly. So and because you're going to go to different tournaments at different geographical locations, you're going to be different people and different armies and things, and it's going to be really, really good. So I think that's going to be a really, really nice feature.
Definitely.
So yeah. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll take all my really fancy painted stuff to East Grinstead and try and win best army again.
Yeah, do it.
Damian consistently wins best army. Something's got to give. Somebody else needs to win.
Chris, you won it once. What are you talking about?
I won it once, but that was not through painting skill, just through.
It's not best painted army, Chris. It's best army.
Yeah.
Good.
Something I'm very proud of.
Well,
yeah.
So something to be proud of.
Yeah.
I shall defeat you this year, though.
Well,
actually, no, I won't. It'll be my Moria, and everyone's seen my Moria, so there's nothing special there.
I'm taking the Wood Elves to East Grinstead, but they won't be out at Shadow and Sorcery.
Good stuff. Right, guys, I think that's everything, isn't it?
I believe so.
Cheers, Jamie.
That's all right.
Thanks for the opportunity, Jamie.
Alright, Damian and Chris. Great talking to you.
Yeah,
Great talking to you too.
I shall see you very soon. Probably. Well,
Okay.
when is it? 23rd of March?
Indeed. Not long to go.
Not long at all.
Just shy of a
over
month.
now.
Yeah. Cool. Month and 10 days.
See you there.
Well,
Not long.
Till then, we'll speak on the forums and on the Facebook page, and I'll get this video up hopefully either sort of tonight, very late, or tomorrow. I've got a day off tomorrow.
Marvellous.
Cool.
Cheers, Jamie. Thank you very much.